So we did that, and I said, okay, now we're going to go down to Phoenix. So we rode down.
Well, we stopped at Winslow, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, we stopped on the night before. We stopped at Winslow.
We stood on the corner of Winslow, Arizona.
Oh, so you had to do it, huh?
Yes, our sticker is actually
such a fun sight to see.
Yeah.
We got a sticker on the side on the truck.
On the flatbed
On
Ford.
the flatbed Ford.
No kidding.
Yeah. Everybody took pictures.
Southern Outlaws was here.
Yep.
And we are back, everybody, for another episode of Level Up Cleveland. And this week, we bring the return of the Southern Outlaws Band. And you guys are actually the first band we've actually brought back on. How's that? That's got to be worth something, right?
That's a milestone.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm surprised you didn't scare him off the first time, Dave.
Well, they don't know how to take me.
I'm going to introduce you guys left to right, and then there's two guys that aren't here. We'll talk about them, too. First off, we have lead vocalist, Arlis Walker. And next to him, guitar player, Dave Weilacker. Next to him, we have the drummer, Mikey Bright Jr. And then not here with us, we have the other guitar player, Guitar Boogie Bob. And Tim Williams is the bass player, and he couldn't make it also.
Correct.
And Tim's the new guy.
Yes.
Because when you guys were here last time, we didn't have the bass player here last time, but the guy that you have in place now is a different guy.
Yes.
Yeah.
And he's still not here.
He did, and the bass player just said,
Damn bass player.
Well, hey, at least this bass player's got, a legit reason. I mean, he's out there, protecting and serving with the National Guard.
Yeah.
So,
is that what he's doing?
He is.
Oh, well, that's good.
Absolutely.
That's good. Protecting us while we're here.
Yes.
Yes.
That's good. That's good. He's doing watch. Now, there's a lot of things we talked about in the last episode. Mikey wasn't here on the last episode, so we can actually talk a little bit about Mikey now and find out a little story about him. One thing about Mike is he's a big fisherman. He makes that well known. We've already know. He's only been here a few minutes. I already know for sure that's his number one thing. They said he talked about it on the whole ride here.
Yes.
And he's also Arlis' cousin.
Yes.
Yep.
So there's a whole thing going on there. And another thing, you guys are big drinkers. Right, you guys.
Oh, we dabble a little bit.
Well, I remember when you guys came in last time. You were telling us Maker's Mark. I think it was Maker's Mark.
Yes,
Wasn't
yeah.
it? They had a barrel. They had a barrel that there was for you guys.
Yep.
Did you guys ever tap into that thing?
It's not ready yet. 2027.
Still aging.
27
or 26.
Is that what it is?
Is it 26?
26.
Okay.
Yeah, they're trying to keep. You're telling them 27. I know
I
that
bumped
trick.
it up
I see what
here,
you're doing.
yeah.
You're like, oh no, guys, 27 and 26 will be like. Shh.
I thought I could sneak off, for a silent trip, to Kentucky.
Quick year, you can get a lot of
That's
shots.
right.
Yeah, no, that's cool, man. You guys had that going on, and since then, a lot of things have happened. I mean, I'm always on Facebook and stuff, and I'm friends with you with Arlis, and man, you guys always have something else happening. It seems every week, or sometimes multiple times in a week. I'll be like, oh, now they're up for this award. Now they're up for this. Now they're going to do this. Now they're going here. The Super Bowl thing.
Yes.
I mean, there's so many things to talk about that's happened since then. And you guys seem like you're on this incredible climb up. You're being played everywhere. Your music is not just, it's not just like a fluke. Like sometimes people can do this and it could be like fluky, like oh, there's somebody in there. And this isn't what's happening. I mean, everybody's recognizing you and everything is happening for a reason.
Yeah. Well, since we were last here, when you mentioned the radios, we're now played on over 50,000 radio stations around the world.
That's amazing. It's amazing. I don't know what's more amazing, the fact that you know that or that they exist.
As it was put to me the other day, that our music has traveled all over the world, and we haven't.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And
that's
you know what I mean? And you think about that. I mean, we're still in the States. We still do what we do. We go where we need to be. But our music has been all over.
Yeah, but and mostly you stay in this area. I mean, like you guys do have other things out, but you're able to do all this without touring. Right. Like you're not going on some like 1 year tour around the. You guys are
not yet.
And we're off to Texas.
Really?
At the end of June, yeah.
And then what's going on in Texas? Like that's the first leg of the tour that you're going to be starting, or what? What is it? What?
We're going to wind up doing a lot of shows while we're there, and then on our way out of Texas, August 1st will be another big one because we will be headlining at the Troubadour with Music Meets Boxing.
Wow.
In Nashville. That'll be the first time that'll be aired on CBS Sports and on pay-per-view.
Wow, dude. What the hell's going on? You guys are like, oh, okay, this is crazy stuff going on.
Yeah, it's going to be cool with the boxing thing. They'll do a round, and then we'll play a couple songs in between. Wow. Yeah. And they'll fight some more, and then we'll play a couple songs.
You know what I find interesting is that you guys are kind of like, you're kind of like put into this category of country. Right, like Willie Nelson and Christopherson and stuff like that, and you guys are not a country band, man. like that's the thing that I always find funny. As a matter of fact, the way we found out about you was Tyrone Hornbuckle.
Yeah, right.
We had Tyrone on here, and Tyrone said, me and Pat were like, hey, you don't need country bands, and even Tyrone was like, well, we got Southern Outlaws, and I think he was just trying to get you guys on no matter what it was. But I'm just saying though, it does seem like because the cowboy hats don't help. Probably disguise the fact that, and the whole Southern Outlaw thing kind of lends itself. But if they hear you, I said this last time. I said there's even like a flare of punk in your guys' music that exists that is so crazy, like it's so reckless sometimes and just so free and so fuck it.
It is.
Yeah, there's such an element of that, and I'll be honest with you. I do believe that's probably part of the appeal to you guys is that it's not so. Everybody now is so tight fit and fits into this little perfect little recording, and it's all blah 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 blah. And you guys bring that grungy feel back. That just right?
Yeah. No. Seriously, it's an opportunity to express ourselves in moment in time.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's what it's always been that way for me my entire life. I'm not going to play somebody's lead note for note because why do that?
Yeah, and you guys will occasionally do a cover tune. You guys will do some cover tunes, but you
it's not the same.
You Southern Outlaw the hell out of them.
Yeah,
there's nothing right. That's right. So let me ask you this: so you guys have won some awards too.
Yes.
You guys, let's just start there. You guys have won some awards early on, before you even came on here. Let's talk about some of that stuff.
Yeah, we won 2 world awards. One for Good for the Soul, the other one for Southbound Train.
And that's some of the early stuff that you guys.
Yeah, that was some of the early stuff. And Good for the Soul won Independent Music Award in New York. And then just here recently, we wound up getting from the Red Carpet Awards in Europe, Louisiana Water wound up, winning Song of the Year there.
That's amazing. Are you guys kind of like taken aback sometimes by this whole thing, like where it just seems like this is like crazy stuff?
Yeah, I mean, there's so much that always is going on. It's unbelievable. Like our new release is One Hell of a Woman, and now that just hit yesterday. We found out number 2 on the Billboard Independent Music Charts.
That's unbelievable. It's unbelievable. It's great though, and you guys deserve it. I mean, like when I first heard you guys and was listening to you guys, I was like, the one thing that always stands out about Southern Outlaws to me is like there really isn't another version of this. You don't sound like anybody else. There's nothing else that sounds well, and I think that really, there's a lot of bands that don't sound like anybody else, but they just don't sound good. You guys have figured it out, right? Where you guys sound like nobody else, but yet.
It comes down to the chemistry between all of us.
That's
well, there's a core, right?
Yeah.
This band has its core, and then it just, you guys are like very tight. You guys are. I remember on the last episode, it's like a family.
Yeah, it is. It is.
I mean, even part of our private lives we treat each other as brothers. Yeah. I mean, it's that's the way we roll.
So tell me a little bit. The Super Bowl thing intrigues me a lot. It does, because that was such a cool thing when it all went down, and obviously you weren't the halftime show, but I mean, like what you did was obviously super cool.
It was a contest.
Yeah.
So tell me what happened. Tell me
the thing of it is Too Hot Radio brought us in.
Yes.
It's still ongoing.
But Rock Nation was one that we performed that we wound up posting the videos for. They're actually the ones that put on the halftime show. And it was really cool when we were performing for Too Hot Radio. And that just, I mean, we had music execs, I would say 5 minutes into it. Not even.
Not even.
Just within a minute.
Yeah.
They started running in. It was a really good experience. We wound up, there was a lot of, rap, R&B artists and stuff that was there. And they welcomed us with open arms. I mean, it was really cool.
Everybody did. So it was just like a real, no matter what.
It was amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, it was totally amazing. I mean, we had the trip out. I mean, that was cool.
But what's that? What do you mean?
Well,
the trip out there.
Out there.
Did you guys drive there to
Yes.
Arizona?
Yes.
Oh, you drove to Arizona?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
I went.
In a
Me
van.
and Mikey did most of it.
Well, I rented the transport, okay, and because we came down to the deadline.
The tour bus was broke down.
Yeah, tour bus.
Yeah,
yeah,
it
the
was-
bus.
we
Oh, you do have a tour bus?
No.
Are you guys kidding
Well,
me?
Rise Up
No,
TV, Big Records did, and they could. Yeah, theirs was broke down. It was stuck in Nashville.
So the alternative, I came up. I said, "All right, we're gonna do this no matter what." So rented the transport, took out the 2 back rows.
Yep.
Loaded all the equipment into it because we had no idea what we were going to do. We were prepared for anything. We could have done a gig.
You're winging the whole thing. Everything's on a wing.
We're
You're
just
winging it.
Okay. So I knew the way there because my brother lives near Phoenix. He lives in Peoria.
Okay.
All right. So we were on the road and we got tired one night. I said, "All right, let's get a hotel room." So we stopped.
Dave lied to me.
How did I lie to you?
We're in Arizona.
And it's snowing.
It's supposed to be warm weather.
It's snowing.
Everybody is bragging to me from back home. It is 65 here. How was it when we woke
I
up?
have forget what the temperature was.
It was
65.
12 degrees.
It was not
12
There was a
degrees?
4-foot embankment in front of the hotel.
Really?
It was no. Oh, it was in Flagstaff.
I got pictures in my phone of it.
That's Flagstaff. Yes.
I'll need those later.
Yeah. We stayed in
show you.
We stayed in Flagstaff one night, but we stayed in Tucumcari, which was in New Mexico. But we stayed in Flagstaff, and yes, there was a 4-foot bank of snow right in
No
front of the hotel.
kidding.
The hotel.
Yeah, and it was called the Desert Inn. Pile of snow.
Lies all the way around.
But we actually got up the next morning. We went to a Denny's. We had breakfast. And I said, okay. I looked at the time. I said, let's take a ride to the crater. So we went to see the crater.
Yeah, it was great.
Okay.
That was cool.
I mean, I took them over there. It was like an experience, for them.
Everybody should do it, huh?
Yeah.
Type thing.
Oh, yeah. If you go to
Seriously.
Arizona, you got to.
Learn, all kinds of stuff.
Big
Spend
old
some time
hole.
there.
Big old hole in the ground.
Yeah. I mean, it was wicked cool. I've been there before.
And we didn't push him in.
No.
Sandy was tempted. We had to hold her back.
But anyways, so we did that, and I said, okay, now we're going to go down to Phoenix. So we rode down.
Well, we stopped at Winslow, though.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
we
was
stopped
cool.
on the night before. We stopped at Winslow.
We stood on the corner of Winslow, Arizona.
Oh,
So
you had to do it, huh?
Yes, our
Had to do
sticker
it.
is actually
Such a fun
on.
sight to
Yeah.
see.
Yeah.
We got a sticker on the side on the truck.
On the
flatbed
On the
Ford.
flatbed Ford.
No kidding.
Yeah. Everybody took pictures.
Southern
Right?
Outlaws was here.
Yep.
That's so cool, actually.
Yeah. So we did that, and then we had to rush to Flagstaff, and that's how we got to Flagstaff. We weren't looking for a place to eat. Everything in Winslow shut down early. There was a place in Flagstaff open, so we
The
just
Crazy
took off.
Bird.
Yep. What was it? I can't even remember the name of the place.
Crazy Bird.
Was it Crazy Bird?
Yeah.
Something like that. Anyways, so next morning we get up, we go to the crater. Then we headed to Phoenix. Now, our bass player Tim, he wanted to see a cactus. Now I know better. I knew where the cactus were at. I said, "Man, look at there. This cactus is only like 5 inches tall." I said, "See that big
Like the
cactus?
stuff you see in Ohio.
Yeah, exactly. So look at that cactus." He says, "Man," he says, "this is disappointing." And then we hit a certain spot down about Interstate 17, and there's the big ones. And he says, "Oh wow, that's all cool." So, anyways, we get to my brother's house. So I told And my brother actually gave us the house for the night, so he left. And
Oh,
then,
that's cool.
Yeah, so everybody could, have a place to sleep. And then came back the next morning. We were getting ready to go over to Tempe, is where we were performing. And it was, when we got there, we were, we walked in. I mean, everybody was so nice. It was very cool to watch and see these rappers and these artists get up and do their thing. Man,
I think it was cool. A lot of them wanted to take pictures with us.
Yeah.
Are you guys the only rockers there?
Pretty much.
No kidding.
And they were really respectful of us. They loved us.
No kidding.
They
they
liked
wound
to
up taking
snake.
pictures.
Yeah, well, that's
They
cool.
liked to
Yeah,
snake on the
that's
head. A
super
lot
cool.
of them.
Of course.
Is that real? Is that real?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Princess with the Reel on 2 Heart Radio.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But it was really an interesting experience. And I mean, it was.
So did you guys? Let me ask you a cool. So before you guys arrived to the location where you're going to perform and everything, did you pretty much have an idea of what you were walking into?
No.
Oh, so you guys. So this was all like you were shocked and immediately in shock.
And then you get there in the parking lots, everybody's standing out there, and weed's legal there. So all these people just burning weed everywhere.
Isn't that hard to get used to? Isn't that hard to get used to?
It smelled like Woodstock, I guess. I don't know.
Hey, they gave free samples at all the places down there.
dispensaries,
I told them, I said,
Really?
hey, I said,
Yeah.
next tour, toured by Arizona Weed.
Yeah.
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 That's so cool, man.
It was.
So you didn't know what you were expecting. So you walk in there, and
we didn't realize that 2 Hot Radio actually is one of the largest hip hop stations in the country.
Oh.
Yeah.
So how do you guys get on this to begin with?
We
How does
actually-
that-
We have no idea. I mean, that just shows you the genres that we have crossed to wind up being, on regular rotation with 2 Hot Radio. Hush Radio in Atlanta, Georgia is a complete R&B station that plays this all the time.
Really?
So it's really fascinating to see the genres that we have crossed that I had no idea that it would ever do.
And you don't even know why.
No.
You really can't even answer it right now, can you? Like, it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But that's great.
They like us.
Yeah, that's great.
The
I mean,
rappers,
whatever-
the rap
Why ever
people
it's
like us.
happening. That's so cool, man.
They actually
Oh,
want to
you
do
guys.
songs with us.
So these guys want to do songs with you.
Yeah.
Oh, that is so cool.
That is. I mean, it's been
So you
done.
guys walk in. So let me get this right. So you guys go into the situation and probably pretty nervous because you really don't know what you're walking into.
Yeah.
This is a national stage. You're not really haven't been on a lot of these yet, and so you walk in and then you see R&B and rappers everywhere. You guys are probably shitting your pants at this point. Like, what the fuck have we gotten ourselves into?
Well,
and then it turns into the greatest time.
We kind of sit around and we waited. We went to several different rooms to get signed up for whatever we needed to do. And I don't think they were sure where to put us, but we did eventually get some kind of an organization thing going on there. And then when we did our first performance in the one room, that's when everybody, come rushing in. It was really cool,
Yeah.
But then the second time we actually went out and got our instruments. I mean, we had all of our stuff with us, and we were putting them on hotel carts, and we're trying to put them in there.
Had all the drums set up pre
So
behind the stage.
They asked,
Oh, really? So
Yeah.
they just had them on like
Had to hurry up
platforms
get
and
'em
stuff,
up,
and
yeah,
you just move the
put it together.
platforms.
Yeah.
So we actually got set up. We prepped ourselves to be on that stage, and they asked if we could be on that stage in 5 minutes, 10 minutes, and we said yes. And we could we be off in 10 minutes? Yes. And sure enough, we got up. We were ready. I mean, we just as soon as we plugged in, we started.
Everybody was jamming, man.
Yeah.
They was into it.
Yeah.
So you guys were like the only band? Would that be?
Yes.
Pretty
Yeah.
much.
So that's why they were asking you
Yes.
that. So it's like
Yes.
because
They
you're the
were-
band.
Yeah, these
Because
guys
they-
really play music.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like everyone's got to go. Oh, shit.
Yeah.
Can you guys get off in 5 minutes like the rapper can?
And we did. And
Wow,
we did.
that's so cool, man.
Yes.
It was.
So that's part of it, though, right? That's part of the success of this band is that you guys are able to follow through with what you guys
yeah.
say you'll do and stuff like that for people.
Yeah.
You
Yes.
made the trip out to Arizona. You do the things it takes to get to this point. It's not like it's just happening because you're just standing in one place and all these great things are just happening. You got to go out there and get some of this stuff, right? Like that's that's part of it.
There's
Matter
a lot
of fact, they liked us so much. September 30th, Rock Nation is bringing us back and they're bringing us down to Atlanta, Georgia for their big award thing down there.
Get the hell out! You're going to Atlanta, Georgia now.
Yeah.
Are you guys going for the whole 50 states before this is all said and done?
Oh yeah,
That'd be nice.
You never know.
we have fans actually in all 50 states. So yeah, it would definitely be that's a goal.
Do you guys feel like the obviously you guys aren't like a huge success yet,
Right.
but do you feel like the success that you guys have gotten so far, has it affected your songwriting to where you guys are like, this song worked, let's do something like that? Do you guys still do the same thing? Do you feel like nothing's
Same
changed
thing.
in there?
I'm usually writing the lyrics, sending them to him. He's wind up coming up with stuff. Bob does too, Tim's even actually in the process of writing a new song.
Right.
So yeah, we haven't changed the formula at all, and we're still wind up doing our thing, and coming up with it, and then we all wind up putting our feedback of what works, for that song, and we go with it. Yeah, we don't try to change.
When we were on here, you guys were on here the first time, we did touch on your story a little bit. I just want to remind everybody your story real quick. We're not going to go. Last time we spent a whole segment on it, but it's a pretty interesting story, and I can't help it but want to talk about it real quick. You haven't been doing like music your whole life. This isn't something that like you were like always doing everything.
Well, actually, I was in the beginning.
Well, right, yeah, you did it for a while,
Yeah.
right. But then you found a career in law enforcement,
Yeah,
and you did that that was your life for a while.
yeah,
And then you had an injury, on-job injury, that kind of like shut that whole thing down. And then during that time, you found music again.
yeah,
And through this band.
yeah.
Like it helps to have a cousin, I guess, who's a drummer.
Yeah. Well, actually, me and him started the whole thing.
Right.
I called Mike up. I said, I finally got myself to where I can wind up doing this. What do you think about getting something started? And he says, sure, I'm not doing nothing.
Except fishing.
Except fishing.
And I can fit it in between.
I knew
There are rainy days.
That was coming.
This is really screwing my fishing up. Though.
If you see fish on stage, you know something's wrong. I'm tell you.
This is screwing up my fish.
It is.
If you see the fish on the stage, something's wrong.
I'm waiting and stuff for him to start hanging a stringer of fish from Scully's,
I know,
staff that he carries on.
yeah.
What happens if you guys play a bar that's like right on the lake or something?
That's
and
where we're-
you'll have
he's
got a holder.
He'll be playing drums, but there'll be a rod.
Yep.
Yeah.
Where we play at the Iron Horse on June 3rd sits right on the
Cut.
Cuyahoga River.
Temptation's there, man. I'm sure.
I'm going to have a fishing pole with me.
You got your
know it.
tackle box right next to
You
you.
know it.
He's got a holder on his drums that he can stick that pole in at any time.
Run a line over there to the
Yeah.
river.
Oh,
Wait,
beautiful.
guys, I got one. Stop.
Yeah.
Oh, so the drums just stop.
Yeah.
Oh, that's all right. He already fell off the back of the stage on one of the shows.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
What show
Yeah.
was that?
That was
JR's.
JR's. There's
Yeah.
a big old gap between the stage and the wall, and my stool ended up working backward, and off the back I went.
Did you get fucked up from that? Or
No.
no, you bounced right back?
We didn't even know he was
just
missing.
my pride.
Yeah, we
So
did.
he yelled at us. He says, "I stopped playing for a minute, and you
Can't
guys
get
didn't
up.
even know I was gone."
sort of stuck back there. I couldn't get out of the hole.
And we just kept hearing the drums. We didn't care.
Yeah. We heard banging back there, so we thought he was still there.
That's it.
But
Hey,
now,
man, there's guys that play upside down.
That show must go on, right?
well, now we're
Totally.
we're getting him a sponsorship with Medical Alert. So while he's back there, and if he falls off stage, he can hit that, hit
This
a button.
Mike Bright Jr. moment was brought to you by.
Yeah.
And I want to talk to Mike a little bit because Mike was the one guy who wasn't here on the first episode that's here today. And Mike's the drummer
Correct.
and the fisherman.
Correct.
Already established the fisherman, but I'm curious about the drums part a little bit. When do you start playing drums? How do you? Who's some of your influences early on? How do you get into rock? All that stuff.
I started when I was 12. Went to a friend's house, and his brother was playing the drums. And I asked my friend, "Can I play your brother's drums?" And he asked him. He said, "Yeah." And guy showed me how to play a beat. I played it. Showed me how to do some rolls, and I played it. And the guy went, "It took me months to do that." And he said, "Can you do this?" And I did it. "Can you do this?" And I did it. And he said, "This is impossible." And he said, "When your parents come to pick you up, I want you to make them come in the house and we'll do this again." And they came in and watched me, and he said, "Buy that kid a drum set right now." So it was just like a natural. I never took no lessons.
Wow. So you were one of them people who could just play the drums.
Yeah, and then after that, I was probably about 14, and the neighbor guy, Catacorny, across the way, heard me playing, and he had a band, a wedding band, and their drummer was a policeman and couldn't be there a lot. And he asked my parents if I could go to the country clubs and the weddings and stuff that they did and no bars, and just fill in for the drummer when he couldn't come. And I did that, and that's pretty much where it all started. It was cool being 14 because all these people I considered old at the time, like I am now, would just circle the drums.
They couldn't
set.
believe it. They're like, look at this
the
kid.
little kid playing the drums. It's cute. And that's where it pretty much all started.
Were you into music at the time? Or were you a big music fan itself?
Kiss. I started with Kiss and then discovered Rush, and I was like, that guy can't be playing all that himself.
Did you discover Rush after you realized you could play the drums?
Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
I got you, yeah.
Kiss and...
But Kiss was like...
Yeah, I could hear them.
Of course.
I would bang on cans and stuff before I got to go over to this guy's house, and I always wanted a drum set. And I'd bang on some cans with some pencils and pretend I was Peter Criss. And,
Hell yeah.
And then I went over and played that guy's drum set and started listening to Rush at that point, and I was like, that drummer's he can't be doing all that stuff. Right. That's not humanly possible.
He's got 3 arms.
Yeah, and it was. So I studied that and found out he was the best drummer that I still to this day,
So you're a Neil Peart guy? That's your guy?
I don't know any drummers.
Me too. I mean, he's my favorite. He's my favorite drummer. I would say, I love me some Rush. Isn't it funny how, like, the generation just before you, it's always Beatles, Beatles, Beatles. And then the next generation, our generation, kind of like, it's Kiss. We say it all the time. Kiss Alive 2 changed it changed my life.
Yeah.
Alive 2 changed my life.
I was Destroyer. I remember getting Destroyer. We had the Columbia Record Club.
Oh, yeah. 13 records for a penny.
Get one every month. Well, my aunt got that record, and she brought it over to my house. My parents says, I don't know about that Kiss stuff, and I listened to it. They let me keep the record, and that
started. Oh, man, the Kiss thing was wild back in the day. You never knew what they looked like. That whole mystery. How many magazines out at that time would be like, see Kiss Unmasked, and you'd only see like the forehead.
Mm-hmm.
Like, really?
Teen magazines, Beat magazines, all that stuff.
So you start playing drums, and you basically just taught yourself how to play through practicing over and over again. You had
put a record on and play along with it. Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah, never took no lessons.
And so, did you get into a number of bands, and then
lots of them?
Oh, is that what happened? Mostly cover bands, or were you always doing original stuff? Or
mostly cover bands with a couple originals here and there in certain bands.
So when one day Arlis calls you up and he's like, "I'm ready."
Yeah.
How was that? Were you hesitant? How would you feel when he calls you up and that says something?
We were good. We grew up together with the musicians in our family.
I got you. Yeah,
but they're in bluegrass and country. Well, it's mostly bluegrass. There's no drums in bluegrass. So,
right. That's bluegrass is great stuff, though, man.
It is.
You're a fisherman too, though. Yes. So when does that love come into play?
That's been forever.
So you don't remember when you don't remember the first time?
First memories, yeah.
Yeah, right. You've always fished. It seems like you were fishing right out the womb.
My dad fished avidly.
Yeah.
So he ran a charter service too. That's how I ended up doing a charter.
Yeah, you have your own charter thing too that you do. Now, where do you normally charter out of?
I'm in Michigan most of the time on
really?
Manistee River. It's a world-renowned river, salmon, steelhead fishing. And I do inland lake charters like we were talking earlier, Pymatuming, Mosquito Lake.
Oh, out that way. Out by where you guys are from.
Yeah. Catching crappies right now.
Cool, man. Well, welcome to the show, because you didn't make it to the last one.
I was fishing. But I did.
Yeah, he was actually fishing.
He showed some pictures of fish and me holding fish on the last interview. It was cool.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. I put them on there. I found some pictures of you, and I threw them up there.
Yeah, it's not hard to find a picture with Mike and a fish.
It wasn't. There's a whole bunch of them.
We should have towed the boat up here today. Lake Erie's right there,
Right here, man. We're literally like, you guys know the Cuyahoga River is. You could throw a rock into it. Where you guys were on the tracks taking pictures,
you
could throw a rock into the river.
We crossed right down there.
There,
we crossed the bar.
Yeah, that's the Cuyahoga. You could, if you had a little kayak, at least you could have kayaked your way right out to the lake.
Yeah,
a fishing pole. All right, so you guys are also involved in a lot more stuff. We just really touched on some of the stuff that you guys are dealing with. And the Super Bowl thing was really cool because you guys played Tempe when the Super Bowl was going on, and you were hired by the people who were based. I mean, I still think that's amazing. But you guys are also involved in some other things, and you guys have also been nominated for some other awards. You guys are getting a lot of recognition. What's going on?
We just got our second nomination for the Josie Awards in Nashville, Tennessee for Southern Rock Group of the Year.
Unbelievable. And you're not even from the South. The Southern Rock Group of the Year from the North.
that's
That's
where the
so.
outlaw
That
part
makes us
comes in,
proud,
yeah.
man. We're like, yeah, that's so cool. It is. I think it's cool. I do. I think that's cool. So you guys have been nominated for that. And what else?
Well, hopefully we're waiting to see about getting the one for Cleveland here soon.
Yeah, the Cleveland Music Awards.
Yeah.
Yeah, Mark Rasmussen. We've had him in here also, and that's a pretty interesting thing how that thing has really taken off. That last year was the first one, and the people that were involved in that, they take that stuff quite seriously, and it's pretty neat. It's pretty neat to get recognition like this.
Yeah. Well, like we were talking, before we came up here, the award nominations and the awards are great, but our biggest award is actually getting out there in front of people and performing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an accomplishment, in itself. I mean, because just go out there and entertain people and them, talk about, the show afterwards, oh man, that was cool what you guys did here and there. That right there is the ultimate.
Is that really what, like,
Yep.
is that the driving force that
That's
keeps
what-
you guys wanting to keep doing it
That's what
and
this is
going
all
and
about.
going?
Yeah.
Is just playing.
So you guys think the live is where you guys are your strongest? Would that be,
Yeah.
safe to say?
Absolutely. It's different. It's
No, we make sure that each show is tailored different, than the last. So when somebody comes out, they're not going to see the same show twice.
So, like, depending on where you're playing, basically, if you're playing a smaller area, you're just going to come with the band in the gear, and the music does the talking. You might have some lights or whatever, but the bigger the venue, the bigger the crowd or whatever, the more you bring to the stage, and the bigger the show. The Iron Horse is going to have the full ensemble. Is that would that be safe to
all
say?
bells and whistles, lights, the whole 9 yards.
Nothing held back.
No.
Nothing stays home in the storage spot. Everything is coming with you. And what does that mean? What can you expect to see if you're going to come to a Southern Outlaws show and it's like the full gig? What would be different if I didn't see a full gig?
Well, there's Skelly. I mean, he's, the sixth
Right.
official member of the band.
Yeah. Now, if I remember Skelly, he's like, for people who are like familiar with like Iron Maiden, he's like Iron Maiden's Eddie, right? He's like
Yes.
the mascot. He's a little larger than life. You make him like a little bigger than everybody else. And he's kind of hanging out with you guys up there.
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Every once in a while he hits me with a sickle, but that's okay.
He hits you with it? Or do you just stumble into it?
Oh, I
Or-
stumble into it.
It's
yeah.
more like that's
If he
more
ever
what
approaches
happens.
me from behind, and somebody's gonna have to hopefully get that on film.
Now, you guys, as far as like writing new music and stuff like that goes, what's going on with that now? Do you guys seem to write? You don't write whole works and then put out an album. You guys kind of write song by song by song,
Yes.
and then release singles that way and keep relevant that
Yes,
way, right?
right.
Is that the whole idea behind doing all that?
Yeah, pretty much. But we're not like some of them that'll wind up just flooding, the industry, with music and stuff. We know bands and stuff, each week they're releasing something, We make sure we take pride in, the quality.
Put enough
over the
time into it.
quantity. Yeah.
Right. The riff that I came up with for Hell of a Woman, I probably sat on it for maybe a year and a half.
Oh, really? Just the riff itself?
Just the riff.
And then you
itself.
build the
Not
song
even-
around the riff?
Yeah,
Is that
not
how you do
even
it?
knowing what to
Yeah.
do with it at that point. And then Arlis had written some words down, and then he says, "Well, let's see what we can do." And I said, "Well, okay, let's put this in here," and blah blah blah. And that's how that was developed. I mean, it just then everybody adds their own part. The creativity is unique.
And I like when I'm gone doing the fishing thing, I can come back, I'll have a song or two wrote already, and then I can just listen to it already and think, yep, that's what I
Yeah,
want to do on drums here.
exactly.
Maybe I could do this here. Maybe.
Do they at least have a tempo for you at this point? Do they like, this is what we're here? Or do you like,
They just write it, and the
You just-
tempo's pretty much there.
we go with it.
Sometimes
so you at
I'll
least have
speed
that.
it up or slow it down a little bit, but
Yeah.
it's fun just thinking, I could put a really good fill in there. I could do this beat here, or maybe this beat. What do you think of this beat, guys? Or should we use this beat?
Yeah.
I love how you say it.
fun.
I love how you say it. When I come back from fishing, then all of a sudden they have everything for me. And I
Yeah,
can
it's
just
cool. I
Well,
love
that's
it.
why the plan is
What a
now
great
to
life.
keep him busy, to keep him behind the drums. He can fish from the road.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Still got to get back to Michigan in September, hopefully.
Well, yeah.
We're working on that.
Are you guys going to drive to Atlanta?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, so far that's the plan. We're going to have to drive to Nashville, I believe, to get the bus to go on to our next.
Oh, so you
That'll
guys
be
have a
when that
layover
happens,
almost.
Texas, yeah.
Yeah, to go to Texas. But yeah, we figure out a way. We're pretty resourceful.
Yeah, that's cool though. That's cool. Now, how did that all come about? And the other thing I want to ask about that, like after you guys already did this Tempe thing in Arizona, and you like I said, you went into this thing completely like
That was a long drive.
and not knowing what you were driving to, right? Like you guys were just driving, and
No.
like you knew you had a gig. That's
Right.
basically
No
what you knew.
clue.
You knew you had a gig, right?
Right.
Now you guys have kind of done this a little bit. You kind of have a little experience. Do you kind of know what to what to expect a little bit more when you pull into Tampa?
I don't
or
know. It's
Atlanta?
kind of hard because I mean every venue is going to be different. Now this will be our first, even though we have a large following in Texas, this will be our first time performing, in Texas. And every venue down there is totally different.
Yeah.
So, that's going to be, each one is going to wind up being, a little different than the next.
But it's going to be a learning curve.
Yeah.
I mean, absolutely. But we're looking forward to it.
Yeah, it's experience,
We like
right?
the challenges.
Oh, enjoy the,
You know-
yeah, we're going to enjoy the ride. There's
Yeah.
no doubt about it.
Do you guys ever hang out at these places like Tempe? Were you able to get outside of the gig itself and kind of like wander around and see the place at all, or was it just basically you showed up, you did the gig?
And then we left.
That really how you did it?
That
We
night
drove-
we left.
yeah.
That's
yeah,
so
drove
rock
all
and
the way
roll,
back.
though, right? That's rock and
I
roll,
mean,
man.
that's-
That's how you do it, right?
When,
Yeah.
on the way out, I'm thinking, this is how everybody used to do it.
Yeah,
Get a van.
Pile in the
I mean,
van, take your stuff,
take
go,
your
and
stuff, and you go.
yeah.
And-
That's cool.
Hope to meet the right people along the way.
I mean, we met people at the gas stations. And,
Oh,
I mean,
that
we-
kind of thing
you
too.
know,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
We talked to people.
You're
I
a
mean,
band. Who are you?
Yeah, it was
Yeah.
kind of cool.
Now you guys were touching on the fact that you might be starting a tour here pretty soon. Like,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, what's that entail?
That actually is going to be the precursor when we go to Texas. It'll be the kickoff to lay the groundwork that we're going to wind up doing. Pierce Media Group Promotions is going to wind up putting the big tour together. And I think they're even going to be kicking that tour off in Texas. So we'll be going back to Texas, and it'll be going, state to state.
Headed
after
back
that,
north up to Ohio eventually, so you'll just take a path back to
pretty much.
and just hit places along the way.
Now I know we're working on with another artist that's in Louisiana. When we play in September in Atlanta, we'll have some shows there, and then they're working on some shows in Mississippi, Alabama, and Louisiana as well.
Wow.
We also have Hugs Radio.
Yeah,
In
Hugs
August.
Radio concert series.
Yeah.
We're going to be August 18th and 19th. We'll be back in Ohio
Lisbon.
for
Ohio.
Lisbon, Ohio.
Yeah.
We'll be there for Hugs Radio,
That's-
and then.
Yeah.
Then October 28th, we're going to be another new venue, which will be the Stage in Buffalo, New
New
York.
York. Yeah.
Wow. So you guys are spreading it out, man. Now, after you were on our show, you kind of landed a job, a little thing doing radio. Speaking of radio,
Yeah,
is it like Cat Country Radio, or is that what it was? And
part of Pierce Media Group.
yeah, and you still doing this?
Yeah.
Yeah. So tell everybody about that. What day it's on and all that stuff.
Yeah, they one of the DJs wound up seeing this interview that we did the last time and thought I'd be a good fit. And then they brought me in with Pierce Media Group and then wound up giving me my own show, which is the Rock and Country Show.
Yeah.
On Cat Country Radio, and now is being broadcast on 5 different FM stations on top of internet radio as well.
Wow, I didn't know that part.
Yeah.
You guys are amazing, dude. I'd like to, I've said this a couple times today, but I like to think that everybody's success always starts on Level Up Cleveland. And
We'll roll with that. Okay.
Hey,
Yep.
we like to
rock
think
and roll always
it totally
starts
doesn't.
right here
It
in
totally doesn't
Cleveland,
mean
Ohio.
it's. Yeah, it doesn't mean it's true, but we like to think that way here. We're slightly delusional. No, that's really cool though that happened, and that was amazing to me because it literally was like weeks afterwards. It was
Yeah,
like
they got a hold of me
Yeah,
right away.
it
It
was
was,
literally
within
like-
a day or two. They contacted me and wanted to know if I'd be interested. I was like, I don't know.
you do great, man. You do a great job with that, and you do a great job like setting it up too and getting people ready for it and putting out certain posts that like explain what's going to happen and stuff. And you kind of like bring an interest to it that makes
Yeah.
you want to listen to it and stuff like that.
Well, plus I don't play, just like a lot of radio, stations that play one genre. They stick to it. That's it. I've played everything.
yeah.
From some really oddball. My Christmas special was pretty cool, because
Yes.
I played Cheech and Chong.
Oh, you played the Cheech and Chong?
Oh yeah, Santa and his old lady.
No
Oh yeah,
kidding, man.
So there's always surprises, and I think one of the biggest, highest rated shows was when I had this monkey over here on, and that was the release of One Hell of a Woman, and we had a big show, and I guess we had people laughing and carrying on in that, and it was one of the highest rated shows.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty neat. So,
And then getting to interview people and stuff is pretty cool too. So see, I'm sitting on the other side of it.
yeah, every once in a while you get to talk to people. It's kind of fun.
From all over the world. Zoe, she's an artist that is living down in Nashville now. She's from Tasmania is where she's originally
Ooh,
from.
she's a devil.
Yeah. And then there's Lorenza Wildcard. She's from the UK. I had her on the show. She's originally from Italy.
So when you have them on the show, are you doing like a phone type thing? You're setting it up through phone?
Yeah, I had the Heartland Roots Band. They're from the UK. They're actually chopping the charts over there. So.
Yeah, didn't you guys? No, I might be wrong about this, but aren't you guys like? Isn't there somewhere like New Zealand or something? There was something
Yes.
with you guys
Yes.
with some.
Yeah,
it
that
just
was Grant.
Grant and Barbara from Galaxy 107.
that's what it was.
FM in
There's some
New Zealand.
DJs that picked up on you guys and started playing you
Matter of
guys.
fact,
Yeah.
we had an interview with them 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Grant likes to fish.
2 months ago.
He says that when we go there,
See, this is all your fault. You started it. You started on the fishing.
It is the funniest thing, dude. You
Yeah,
are-
when we go there,
They
want
gotta
us
put
Hour
up with this
brought to
crap
you
all
by
the
Mike
time.
Bright and the fishing,
But when we go there, they want to set up a charter to go out and fish.
We're gonna go catch up.
Like-
We're gonna go
No,
marlin.
it's
We're gonna
a-
go marlin fishing.
It's about the music. You can't tune a what is it?
You can't tune a fish.
Well, we can marlin fish though.
It's so funny.
You can't tune a marlin. That'll go right.
Jesus, Crowley.
Oh, we do Facebook Live at practice a lot. That's cool.
No, I've seen that. I remember I was commenting on the one time I was
yeah,
watching you
yeah.
guys and I was like, oh my God, let fucking put it on
That
practice.
gets a lot of attention.
Yeah, that does.
Every week,
Yeah.
more and more people tune in.
And what's cool is when you wind up, doing something like that, and we've literally got people watching coast to coast.
The
Yeah.
last time we did was New Jersey, California,
oh,
Louisiana, and I don't know how far north we went, but yeah.
That's just crazy to me, man. That's
And Cindy Neen's joined in too. She's from Altel Productions. She's in the Ivory Coast.
The Ivory Coast, yeah.
My granddaughter gets to watch me then. That's so cool. She's, hi, Papa. I'm like, go do your homework.
if you had to give somebody advice, if you were to say, if someone came to you and said, "Hey, how are you guys doing that? What's separating you? What's the sauce?
A lot of work.
What
Hard work and dedication.
yeah, would
I
that be
put
it?
in easy.
Him and
There's
Sandy.
times
It's all
12,
Arlis and Sandy.
12 to 16 hours, I think is the most I put in a day's time. And I mean, that's talking from radio stations all around the world. Plus the time difference, day doesn't matter. I mean, if it's morning for them, it's, night for us.
Right.
So I deal with all that, so it is just nonstop.
So you're always
and
pushing for it.
Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, if you want to make it in this business, you got to be able to go that extra mile, put in those extra hours to wind up getting it. And then now, because of the hard work, we're actually our music is being considered for the Cannes Music Festival in France.
And with the technology now today does help a lot. It's not
Right,
Yeah.
it reaches out way more than it did back in the day.
Yeah, you're able to reach people that you just couldn't reach before unless you had like record companies pushing
Right.
for you
If
and that
you didn't
kind
have
of
a
thing.
label behind you, you couldn't reach.
But you're your own label at this point. You guys are
Yes.
actually doing what they did and pushing yourselves through.
Yes.
A lot of people do.
Right,
That's cool, man.
right. I mean, we've got that coming up. We're also going to be part of a commercial. Our music.
Yeah, we're working on with American Badass Whiskey for
Yeah.
a national commercial with
Yeah.
them.
I'm no help. I'm computer illiterate.
I'm doing all the artwork for the storyboard.
And we,
Really?
We modified "Good for the Soul," the song.
So that's the song that's going to be being played during the commercial?
Good friends, good music, American Badass Whiskey. It's
Yeah.
good for the soul.
Perfect. So they're even using your song as the
That's
logo.
cool.
Yeah. He's got he's doing the storyboard. As
We
he
was
mentioned.
working on maybe getting our music on a video game in the background too.
That's still a possibility.
That's still
Yeah.
going.
Yeah.
What the hell?
would be
Is it a
cool.
fishing game?
That'd be even better.
Kill the fish.
That'd be even better.
Shoot the fish from your boat.
Yeah, big one. Like I said, August 1st, we'll be at the Troubadour, where music meets boxing.
That's gonna be cool.
There in Nashville, Tennessee, and that'll be broadcast on CBS Sports and pay-per-view.
Fuck.
That's gonna be cool.
So cool, man. You guys are doing it, man. We'll have you guys back again.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll give it another year and see what's going on after another year. We'll just-
And we'll bring more whiskey next time.
yeah, man. That was, thanks for that. Hooked us up nicely. That stuff was smooth.
It's
Badass
good,
whiskey.
It is good stuff.
That's some badass shit.
I'll bring a piece of fish.
All right, guys. That's it for us. We're out of time.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for coming back down, man.
Thank you guys for
you.
having
I
us.
appreciate
Thank you.
it.
We appreciate
It's
it.
awesome, man.
You bet.
Check them out, man. You guys are going to be everywhere. I got a feeling this just is a matter of time, and they'll be playing the halftime Super Bowl.
Yeah.
All right, that's it for us. We'll see you guys next week. Peace out.
That'll be fine.